This is the church.
Alright, as usual, before we start, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Baha, Raka, Kadash.
Yeah, double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach well, to the Akins, the Iris and Byros and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth.
That's right.
That's right. Jeremiah 3:25. Yeah, so you know the kingdom's on its way, and right about now we have to make sure that we're actually stepping down. We should be stepping, walking right, and we don't want to be sacrificing.
You don't want to be found naked.
Yeah, found naked.
That's right. That's on point.
Yeah, we don't want to be trimming our ways.
And it's easy to get naked these days, you know. Like it's called distraction. You know? Distraction could be anything.
And there's nothing that's distraction in this world. You know, all kind of things.
Yeah, it's not just one thing.
No, could be even your woman or your man.
Well, woman is the primary.
Your job.
Woman is the one, but then there's other things.
Yeah, it's them
Could be your job, it could be money, it could be even your family, and then
your children,
and it could be anything that you struggle with.
That's right. Go on, my brother.
Right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 33. And it reads, "Why trimmest thou thy way?"
And that's a question. Why are you going to trim your ways, God?
To seek love.
And who are you seeking love from at the end of the day? And we should be seeking love from the Most High. So we're trimming our ways to seek love from this society, from this kingdom, from Esau.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Alright, so I think the first one
Why guys? Read that part.
Yeah, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33. And it reads, "Why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love?"
Yeah, so then we have to realize that because we are in this kingdom, we have to realize that because we are in this kingdom, right, we are programmed to love our enemy. We call him master. Because we go to his school, you know, we learn from his ways, you know, so sometimes for us to make it in society or to be comfortable, sometimes we trim our ways. But then the Most High is telling us this is the time for us not to trim our ways. You know, this is the time for us now to love our true master. Fair enough, because of captivity, we lost touch with our master, but then he's calling us, you know, to love him. That's why I say, why? Read it again. I can't paraphrase.
It says, "Why trimmest thy ways to seek love?"
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? So now the love that you're supposed to be seeking is what? Keeping the commandment. Because that's the Most I say, if you love me, keep my commandments. Alright?
In addition to what the brother was saying, as a barber, the trim is to reduce or to shorten. So trimmest thy ways is reducing or shortening your ways to seek love. So in other words, we shouldn't be reducing our actions and our ways to seek the love, which is the Lord's statutes and commandments.
You're demeaning yourself.
You're demeaning yourself. You should be extending your ways if anything.
Now, to add on to that, Matthew 6, is it 21? 6:24.
Okay, this is the book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24. And it reads, "No man can serve two masters.
That's right.
For either he will hate the one and love the other."
Yeah, so we can't say we're going to serve the Most High and still try and be part of this world. Yeah? You're definitely going to trim your ways. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we do.
Right.
Reduce or shorten your ways.
Yeah, we trim our ways to find solace. Yeah, we trim our ways to find solace and happiness in this kingdom where, you know, the scripture lets us know that through much tribulation, that's how we're going to get into the kingdom. Yeah, so we're not meant to trim our ways. At the end of the day, whatever we go through in this kingdom, the Most High has an expected end for us. We just have to what's the word? Bear it, endure to the end. Yeah? But you're not meant to trim your ways to try and fit in. And that's why a lot of us will be hated at the end of the day, because when you stick to what the Most High says, you're going against the grain. Yeah? So you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. So people don't want to be the odd one out. So what do? You start to trim your ways to fit in, so that you can blend in. Yeah.
Wearing fringes,
not
honoring the Sabbath, stuff like that.
You got that one, you got that one. Like even in Israel, you got I don't want to talk about chemical.
I agree.
You got those who like trim their ways to seek love.
That's right.
And I'm not even going to get into the details. I want to edify brothers and sisters that are learning to be in Israel. I'm not talking about no leader anymore. Whatever we want to do, let's do it. And everybody has a part to play. You can't escape your fate. Whatever the Most High put in your heart to do it. Even though it doesn't go in line with the Bible. What am I going to judge you? Do your thing. I want to edify the people that are watching us, right? That want to learn, they know the Hebrew Israelite, they're going through a lot. You know how people go through a lot. I want to edify them so they can be strong, because we're going through like some fiery stuff. And so the Most High, by the grace of Yahweh Ratazah, He will help them. How would be, a tool of edification and of exaltation for the brothers and sisters?
That's right.
Yeah? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about whatever Ken want to do, let them do it.
That's right.
Yes. Because what a man sow is what he will reap.
I'm not going to precept, bro. Can I read it?
Yeah, bring it up.
I'll stick that on this.
Yeah, 2 Timothy 2. 2 Timothy 2 and 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself in the affairs of this life.
And that's a key point. Like, what are we worried for? We're worried for the kingdom. So you can't be mixed up. So obviously, you're going to go through daily life issues.
You have to see in the streets, you need to have understanding. We need to work, we need to provide for our family. We need, we pray for the Most High. If you don't have one, you pray for them. These are things that you have to get. We're not talking about that, because you have to survive in this society. We're talking about things that you get out of your way to please, the enemy, just so you can be comfortable. By doing that,
Everything you do, you're at work 12 hours a day.
Yeah,
not making no time for the Most High.
And then when you come, you're
how much
tired.
money you're going to get. Yeah. You want to get that new car. Nothing wrong with getting a new car, but if you got a car that's like the scriptures will give us what we need. So if you've got a car that's getting you from A to B, why do you need to get that flash, brand new sports car just because it looks nice?
You know what? Because they believe in the system, right? They found their, so to speak, the paradise in this kingdom. And they don't want this kingdom to be run away with, because this is where they find, this is where they're comfortable. And we have our people that, right now to speak, right? There's someone that is watching us that is struggling, that is basically is in between. He doesn't want to go back in the world. That person want to go back in the world, because they've been in the true world. It's not happening. One thing about this, it's not happening. You gotta have faith. That's what it is.
That's right. That's right.
But then, like I said before, you've been in the world striving for certain things, you can't get it. And as you come into this truth now, all of those things you're after, they're starting to come your way. But don't,
that's even
because that's the distraction now. You know what I'm saying? That's the distraction.
Because you have to remember this, when you come in this truth, you have to go through a refining process. You have to take away everything that you learn in the system. Get rid of it, and it's very painful.
Reborn,
So imagine that. You have to go through, so within that time, a lot of things won't happen in your life because you're being refined. Because adding up more things on your life will make it worse for you actually. So he will take away certain things, refine you, and then maybe at some point will give you some. Right? So if you're not patient, if you don't learn to be in this word,
Patience, that's very important.
that's key.
And this is Ephesians 4:23. It says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after the most I is created in righteousness and true holiness. So, like the brother is saying, you can't be part of the world and think you're going to fit into this truth. You have to renew your mind. Throw away the old man and put on the new man.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say that he may please him. All right, let's read it. 2 Timothy 2 and 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Yeah, so you can't be getting yourself mixed up with things of this world. Like, it's not going to get us nowhere at the end of the day. Because what? Everything of this world is going to pass away. So what we should be seeking is eternal things. Even the life that you're trying to preserve. I was trying to Brother Ahab today. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We were saying, like, even we're going to pass away. It's in the kingdom. That's what you should be seeking, where everything is eternal.
But if you pass away in the truth, you're blessed.
That's
Big
right.
time.
No,
Big time.
but my point is, people are there striving for things that's going to pass away. Yeah, when you should be building up.
That corruptible.
Yeah, so you need to be building up things in the kingdom where you know that these things are eternal.
And you say that even for afterward, that's the spirit. Like, for example, sometimes you come in the truth, you want a woman, right? It's not happening. Are you going to leave the truth because you want to go back there and you want to get some women? Vice versa, you want a man, it's not happening and you want to go back. You can't do that, man. That means the Most High is testing you more. He want to see if you're about it. Do you come to the truth because you want to get certain things, or you came to the truth because you feel like you're part of the elect, or like this gospel is music to your ears, and you really want to, and when you close your eyes, you can see the kingdom and you understand the whole thing. But the Most High will test you, man. We don't know who you are, but He knows who you are. There's a reason why things are not happening in your life right now. And like they say, things are not happening before they're meant to be, before they're meant to
Nothing
happen.
happens before it's time.
That's right, nothing happens before it's time. So, and like we say it again, patience. Patience is the currency in this truth.
Let me get that. This is Luke chapter 21,
Too scary.
verse Luke 21 and 19. It says, in your patience possess ye your souls. Yeah, that's just simple and plain to the point. Yeah, don't be trimming your way because you want this and you want that. Just wait. You might not get it, but what are you aiming for? Things of this world or things in the kingdom?
But then again, hey, let's be real, man. That's like I say to someone, I say this truth has the sweet part and the sour part. Like some of us won't get really what we want. We won't get what we want on this side, and we'll get wonderful on that side. Are you willing to wait? Are you willing to wait? That may be your portion. That may be your luck. You know how everybody has the luck. That may be your luck, man, to actually wait. Real patience, you know. And you will see people around you get it, and you're not getting it. So what's going to happen? Are you going to live the truth now? So that's when you pray. That's why the Bible says, pray without ceasing. Because when you pray, you make yourself strong in the spirit. If you don't pray, you're going to give up. So because you will lose heart, you will lose faith.
This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So yeah, that's what we should be doing, man. Seeking, we should be, as brothers like to say, be kingdom-minded. You know, seek what's the things that are to come, not the things that are present. Because the scriptures let us know that all of these things are going to pass away at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Corruptible crown, right?
Corruptible crown.
Like we used to say, you can get something today and tomorrow you lose it. Name it. You can get it today and tomorrow you lose it.
Or you spend all that effort and time accumulating all of this. You know, the rich man. Actually, let me find that quickly. This is in Luke. Yeah?
He's saying that it's silent. I was trying to tell you.
No, not in that. It's like this guy. Let me get that. Yeah, this is Luke chapter 12, verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do, I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
There you go. So you're not going to enjoy that for the many years as you planned.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? So you spend all that time grafting for earthly stuff, carnal, material stuff, and then the Most High said, Spirit, come here.
Then what are you going to do?
Then all that now, someone who gets that after you just squanders it.
Usually that's what happens.
They didn't
draft for the kingdom.
Yes. They're not going to think about it now. Like, your family member, and then they don't know how to manage the wealth that was left because they didn't drop it out.
That's right.
But on a lower level as well, it talks about these guys that do the, how do you call it? Shopping, there's a term for that. Storing up.
Yeah.
Storing up all these things and then somebody will come and rob you.
And all of that.
Yeah, but when is this unique protection of the Most High Yahweh? And we're talking about that. Like people are worrying now regarding the fact that, what we're gonna do now when they bring up the roll-up, the roll-out, the mark of the beast and the vaccine. When I say if you don't get the vaccine, you don't get no work, or you don't get the money, you don't get to do what you're supposed to do, and you have to keep faith, right? That's what we're talking about. We're gonna have to experience, because the Most High, He said He was gonna do this, He said He was gonna do that, right? So now we're gonna wait on Him and see, but then the Bible says, have you ever seen Him being a deceitful God? Like, I think, how do you say it again?
Let me get that.
He's in the Apocrypha, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is one of my favorite. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 10. Yeah, it says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded?
That's right.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
That's right. So when you read the Bible, you see how King David was surrounded by his enemies, and actually a chariot came and picked him up. Then you've got so many situations. You got Abraham, Sarah, you got Isaac, the reason why we're here today. You've got, all these great people that believe. You've got Anna, the mother of Samuel, who through, prayer and faith, birthed Samuel. But she was, her womb was shut up. All right?
This is First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 50. It says, now therefore my sons, be zealous for the law. And this is what we have to do. Be zealous for the word of the Most High. Quickly grab Revelation 12 and 11. It says, be zealous for the law.
Revelation chapter 12 and verse 11. And it reads, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
And this is how we're going to win in that day. How we're going to overcome. By applying this word. Yeah, go on. And faith in Yahweh Shai. Go on. And by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. So this is what it says now, 1 Maccabees 2 and 50. Now therefore, my sons, be zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Meaning, you love not your life even unto death. So like the Bible was talking about the vaccine and all of this, stick to the word. At the end of the day, the Most High is going to bring you through. It says,
let me give you an idea. Look, you might be somewhere, it's hard, you have no money there, and you go like a big, like van or whatever, lorry, or full of, groceries or whatever, man. And something happen, boom, fall somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And you're able, you open up, you're able like to get something. And just a silly example. My point is this: the Most High,
takes away.
Yeah. I had a dream one day when the COVID-19 started. So like a brother, I had a dream. Right? So it's hard, farming and that. And then I don't have nothing to eat, so I come out of my yard, and one of my neighbors, man, she left the yard. I don't know what happened. She left the yard. When I enter, man, food. And she said,
Compiling, that's the word.
But then she was also imagine the food that she did to stop up like in the corner. I'm like, blessed, you know? So my point is this, the Most High, basically, the reason why I give this analogy because I can't even think of what the most, he's so great and powerful, I can't even imagine, you know? So close your eyes and play with your imagination and see what the most, you'll be watching movies. You know how Esau can come up with them scenes, you're like, wow. That was nice, man. The guy is creative. The Most High creates creation. He's the master of creativity. Alright? So he will bring it, man. Be faithful.
Alright, this is 1 Maccabees chapter 2. I'll start again, 50. It says, Now therefore my sons, be zealous for the law and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name. It says, was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? It says, Joseph in the time of distress kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
That's right.
And when you jump down to verse 61, it says, and thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. It says, fear not them the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be done in worms. Verse 64, wherefore ye my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory. So we have to stick to this word, man. Like, the Most High won't forsake us, and his word, get out of Romans 8.
And also, just because you're going through, you know, some pain and things like that, let me give you something, right? People that are lower on this side are higher on the spiritual level. Alright? So your reward's gonna be big, man. Just because you're going through something and it's hard, it doesn't mean that the Most High don't love you. You know what it means? It means that the purification level is so hard, it's so high. On the physical level, it looks messy, but on the spiritual, you're gold, man. You're the highest. Right? Have that faith, man. Close your eyes and imagine. Put some nice picture in your psychology, man. Alright?
This scripture here used to be, it's one of my favorites, but when I was in the world, this scripture here used to guide me, man. 28.
Yeah. It's the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. And it reads, and we know that all things work together for good.
And it says, and we know that all things work together for good.
To them that love God.
Yeah, to them that's keeping the commandments, God.
To them who are the called according to his purpose.
This is what you have to keep in mind. When you, as they say, shite hits the fan, just remember whatever you're going through. And I used to think of that, like, I'm going through some mad things. And it's like, boy, it don't look good, but I have to say to myself, somehow the Most High is going to work it out for my good, innit? And that's what you have to keep in mind. All things work for good. Read that again, Mum.
This is the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. And it reads, and we know that all things work...
And we know it's like something you know, innit? When you read the scriptures, whatsoever things were written aforetime was written for our learning. So we know through the scriptures that those who fear the Most High, it always works out for their good.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose.
And his purpose is to do his laws, that keep his laws, statutes and commandments, and the faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
And also, just because you go through something, right? You might be going through it, but actually that's the Most High loving you. Look, the two-thirds right now, they're living it up. You know why? Because the Most High prepared the end. He's like, just enjoy it, because I know you had a consolation, man. You will be born up anyway. Your fire will be out here, man. Live your life. But you're so precious to him, like, look, the Most High is a judge. He said, Israel shall go through the fire. He said, through much tribulation, we shall enter the kingdom. So if you find yourself in tribulation, rejoice. That means the Most High, well, if you, keep the law, you know that you're in the trouble, not talking about those wrong-headed, you know what I'm saying, brothers or sisters that we wouldn't want and therefore have to pay for the sin. I'm talking about those who are in the truth, are trying to be in the truth, but yet go through tribulation. That's because you're paying the price, right? You're paying the price for you being good in the kingdom. You know, that's your purification. You're being purified, right? That's what it means.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 11.
29:11.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 29 and 11.
Right?
For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord Yahweh. Thoughts of peace and not of evil.
That's right. Because you have to remember that when you're going through certain tribulations, the Most High knows what He's got in store for you. And He says thoughts of peace and what? And not of evil. And not of evil. So even though your tribulation might seem like, boy, you know, the earth is falling in, you know, the sky is dropping on top of me, the Most High knows what He's got in store for you. That's what you have to keep in mind. That's why I read Romans 8:28, that in all things the Most High works for the good of them that love Him.
Read it over here. Alright, Jeremiah 29 and verse 11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord Yahweh. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end.
So, thoughts of peace
And not of evil.
yeah, to do what?
To give you an expected end.
It says to give you an expected end. And what's that end? So, the kingdom. That's what we're
At
seeking.
the same time, at the same time, you have to understand something like when you get in this truth, right? You become a living sacrifice. You have to be like a servant. That's why you say my yoke is
Not heavy.
it's not heavy, but nevertheless it's a yoke.
That's right.
Right? So there is a part of pain. But remember, he said that he's not the servant is not greater than the man. And what did our master go through on his earth?
Right.
He went through a lot of pain to get. Listen, don't think that the Most High had. I mean, Yahushua had this kingship, like the crown that he had. Easily, you know. He went through pain, so he was helped.
Wasn't he in the garden, like crying and said that?
Yeah.
Tears that God
That's
asked for
right.
the cup to be taken
That's
from him.
right. So if you feel like that sometimes when you say, Father, it's too much in that, it's okay. Alright? It's okay, man. But that's the Most High. You have to show obedience. Just like Abraham showed obedience when he took Isaac. The Most High loved that. When you see, he makes you look. He was pleased when he saw Yahushua being crucified, man. He took pleasure in that, man. You have to, the Most High, man, you have to give reverence. He's something else. So you have to be humble and hey, whatever it
And
is.
the scripture says that the death of his saints are precious in his eyes.
And what,
Precious
you
in
know
his
what,
eyes
that's the
are the
spirit.
death of
That's
his
what I
saints.
had because some of us will death, let's be honest. He said you will go, you will enter so much glory, you know, in the Shemaiah. So much glory. That means that, you know, so, because remember, his son had to go through that. But his son was the firstborn. He loved his firstborn more than any one of us. He gave him the rulership and everything. So if you die from that means maybe the Most High, you're one of the highest one. Maybe the kingdom is gonna be like top, you know?
Yes, you're right. Come back a bit.
If you just step back a bit. This is Vanessa. This is
Oh,
my brother
right.
Abadiah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Yakadar. Yes, Yakadar.
It's Ezekiel.
Is it?
It's like
I like my son's name.
Okay.
this.
Roll back.
I'll just let me.
It's a lucky.
Well, nice to meet you, sis, man.
Obadiah.
Abadiah.
I won't forget that.
Abadiah.
But Obadiah is yes.
Call me Yaha, man. Call me Yaha if you can. Or Ezekiah if it's too hard for you. Because I think it's Ezekiel in
Alright, so this is Sirach chapter 2 verse 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
That's right.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And that's the point. Like no matter what you're going through, you have to constantly endure. Yeah? That's the possessing your soul through patience.
And that's that as well. Like he say, you're gonna make it if you endure.
That's right. He that
Right.
endureth to the end.
You will make it if you endure. It's not about like wanting something like that in one. Because remember, you're gonna have to be worked out to the point where he says, Can you get Isaiah 13? Let me read that quickly. Isaiah 13 and 12.
Yeah, no problem.
Men, because men will be as goats. I just want to make a point.
I'm there.
Isaiah 13 and 12. Isaiah 13. Yes,
Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
right. I will make a man more precious than fine gold. So that's where we get it, right? That's when I say man, obviously you talk about us men, but the women as well, because the woman is one with men anyway once they're married. So that talks about the woman as well. So he's getting us into that point where we pure as gold, meaning we're higher value. So when we going through what we're going through, to me, well, not even to me, according to the Bible, it's a must. All right, it is a must to go through the pain that we go through, because this is our last captivity as well. After all the wickedness we've done, the Most High has to
It has to come to an end, man.
And if you believe in reincarnation,
Can I precept what you just said to me?
yeah, and if you believe in reincarnation, you did some wickedness with us. So the Most High, this is the last round, man. So let's go through it, because think about it. If you compare the pain that we go through right now to what we're going to actually get in the kingdom, boy, that's like a walk in the park.
Yeah, and to precept what you just said, Isaiah 13 and 11, the verse up. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity.
Yep.
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
Right, so basically that goes into the mighty Jawada. You don't like when I say that, but I will say that. You don't like when I say that. Oh! So going to what the brother was saying, right? Going to what the brother was saying, what you read, he's talking about like we all gonna go through basically Yahweh being a judge, right? Yahweh being a judge. You will have to pay for whatever you did, right? Past life, present life. So it's